Wow, The Desperate Hour really is a true emotional roller coaster and packs such an almighty punch and really does show the importance of a mobile phone. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing The Desperate Hour, which was previously known as Lakewood, and this is a true high-octane, high-intense thriller movie about a woman who is desperately trying to save her son, who is involved in a bit of a high school shooting, which is quite literally every parent's worst nightmare. And this is such a powerful and truly gripping movie, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So the storyline in this movie is focusing on the Amy character, who is a recent widow who is having some trouble restoring normality to her and her kid's life in a small town in Canada. One day when she is out for a run in the forest, her life completely spirals out of control and gets thrown into true chaos when her town gets sent into a lockdown due to the fact that the high school has a bit of a shooting incident. So the film then follows Amy's race against time as she is trying to get from the forest back to the town to try and save the day, and the film follows this desperate journey. Now from a positive point of view, I absolutely love the fact that it really does focus on all of the emotional chords with this character. She is very far away from this town, and the only object that she has is her mobile phone, and the way in which she uses her mobile phone in such an innovative and clever way to try to call loads of people, to try to piece loads of clues together, to try to resolve and solve the situation, whilst also trying so desperately to jump into a bit of an Uber, and all of the craziness that happens within this forest situation. And even though it only really focuses on one character, the movie is still really powerful, really intense, and really heartbreaking as well. I feel like Naomi Watts does such a good job in terms of carrying the storyline narrative in this movie, and the ending in this film is just so incredible. It will totally pull on all of your emotional chords, and I absolutely love the fact that it starts off in such a normal day kind of way for this character and for her kids, and the way in which it then suddenly becomes a nightmare I think is absolutely incredible. And even just the final sequences in this movie, the way that it pays homage back to the beginning and the lessons that all of these characters learn, I just feel like it's absolutely unbelievable. However, from a negative point of view, I guess you could say the fact that it just focuses on one character is a little bit limited. But that being said, even though, you know, there's no massive set pieces or big extravagant things taking place in this movie, I feel like actually it's really powerful in its simplicity. And it really does show the power of a mobile phone, especially a mobile phone that has some battery in it, and the way in which you can use your intellect and your wit, even when you're in true panic mode, is just absolutely incredible. And so from a storyline point of view, I just feel like this movie is really effective. So from a cast and characters point of view, this is definitely Naomi Watts' movie. This is definitely her film. She is in pretty much every single scene in this movie, and you're really with this character through all of the emotional highs and lows that she is feeling and experiencing. You're really with her. You're feeling it yourself as you're in such close proximity with this character, and I feel like she is able to just carry this movie so well. Naomi Watts does such a convincing performance, and she is just such a nice person that you're able to immediately connect with her. She is trying so hard to stay so calm amid so much chaos, and they really do focus on the difficulty of dealing with grief, especially as a single mother with all of this madness going on. I just feel like Naomi Watts does such a good job in terms of playing this character, and I feel like she is written really well. As from a premise point of view, this movie does hinge upon the performance of the lead character, and I'm really glad to say that Naomi Watts absolutely smashes it. We also have Colton, Gobbo, who is playing her son, the Noah character, the one that she is so desperately trying to save. I won't spoil anything to do with the Noah character, but all I'll say is that he does a brilliant job in this movie. But like I said, this is definitely Naomi Watts' film, and she totally delivers. So from a visuals point of view, you could argue that this movie is incredibly simplistic, as it is really just focusing on one character's desperate chase and run to try to get from a forest all the way back to town so that she can save her son, who is in a bit of a high school shooting situation. But the way in which they just explore all of the craziness and all of the chaos that happens with this character trying to get there, I feel like it's really, really great. And obviously this character is in solution mode and problem solving mode, and she is just trying to solve the whole situation. And I feel like they play on this really, really well, as she is trying to be so logical in certain aspects, but then obviously her emotions are coming out, and the way in which this can sometimes play out in the true life or death type scenarios in which this character is in, I feel like is just captured really, really brilliantly. And like I said, it really does show the power of a mobile phone, and the way in which this character is just so clever, and how she uses a mobile phone yet while she is in such a crazy scenario, I think is really, really impressive. And just being able to follow her journey across this hour is actually really effective. So from a comparisons point of view, I feel like the first two movies you can definitely compare it to is Speed and Unhinged, in terms of a really intense, high octane type situation taking place for a number of different characters, and the way in which this character is going to navigate it in a really short, sharp and effective way is done really, really well. I feel like you can definitely compare this movie to Netflix's Oxygen as well, which is all about one character trying to use her voice and communication to try to get out of the craziness of the situation. I feel like even though that movie was set in a very different location, I feel like there are actually a lot of similarities between these two movies. And of course this movie was shot during a lockdown situation, which is of course why it is pretty simple. And so I feel like you can also compare it to other lockdown movies, for example Lockdown, Songbird and Kimi, and I would probably put this movie on the same level as Songbird and Kimi, and I would say it's stronger than Lockdown. So overall, with The Desperate Hour, I actually really, really enjoyed this movie. I wasn't sure what to expect from it when I went into this movie, especially when I read the premise of this film. But actually, the final execution is really, really good. It totally had me hooked. And I feel like Naomi Watts does such a convincing and brilliant performance in this movie, and it's given me a brand new appreciation for my mobile phone as well. I feel like this movie just navigated its storyline narrative really, really brilliantly, and I feel like the ending of this movie is just absolutely incredible. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give The Desperate Hour a massive solid 7 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of this film, so let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.